But if those walls could talk inside the Jets Atlantic Health Training Facility. In fact, there's a new book out that presents that very same thought. If these walls could talk, stories from the New York Jets sideline, locker room, and press box. And it's written by a former Jets great who was a defensive tackle for Gang Green for 11 seasons. He's now the radio analyst for all the Jets games for the last, 18 years. Marty Lyons, you've been calling Jets games for 18 years on the radio now. How are you?
Yeah, you know what, Tina, it's hard to believe. Time doesn't stop. This is our 19th season together, and actually my 42nd year of being involved with the New York Jets.
Oh, that is incredible. Well, welcome to Sports Extra. What inspired you, Marty, to write this book with all the intimate details?
Well, I think what inspired me was an opportunity to do a crossover book, tell stories about being with the Jets for 42 years, but also bring light to the Marty Lyons Foundation, which is now in our 38th year, and be able to tell stories about the kids and try to find a cure for childhood cancer and take people inside the life of a family that has a child that's sick or has a child that's handicapped, what it's like to be in their shoes.
Proceeds from the sales goes to the Marty Lyons Foundation. Marty, how have things been going, though? I mean, since March, as we've been going through this pandemic and the economy, how has the foundation been making out, though?
Well, we've only had one fundraiser this year, and we're down probably about $600,000 from where we should be. But in light of all that, I have a great supporting cast as my board of directors and the volunteers. We're trying to do everything that we can to raise money, because once we get back to a normal world, I'm sure that there's going to be so many kids that will reapply for their wish. The sad part is that some of the kids that were in the pipeline to get their wish done, unfortunately, won't be around when it's time for us to do their wish.
That's just gut-wrenching. And Marty, the stories about these kids that you meet through your foundation, obviously they are going to be new to the readers and all the Jets fans that do pick up this book. But from your days on the New York Sack Exchange to these Sam Darnold's Jets, what is a new story on the football field that'll be new to fans and they'll read for the first time?
Well, I think if you just look at this season, the 2020 year with the pandemic and no training camp, no preseason games, look at the New York Jets, and they're 0-4. They haven't played good football. They haven't played smart football. But they're a team that's still trying to get to know one another. And when you look around the league, the teams that are successful, like Seattle, New England, these guys have been around or been in the system for a while. And I think for the Jets to turn it around, each individual player needs to look at themselves.
I was going to ask you where you thought Adam Gase was falling short, but I think you kind of explained, with the no preseason games, where can Gase do better to try to bring the team together?
The coaches are just the X's and O's guys. When you're a professional athlete, if you need the coach to motivate you and get you excited, there's a problem right there. You need your teammates. You need to build trust in one another, and then you need to take the energy from the locker room out onto the field and hold it there for 60 minutes, because it is so depressing. When we go to MetLife Stadium, you pull up. There's no tailgates. You go in. You get screened. You get up in the press box. You don't leave the press box unless you have to use the restroom. And you look down, and the two teams come out, and there's no fans. For those players like myself, I don't know how I would have played, but, you would have relied on your teammates to help you, because the crowd really generates so much energy, and it goes from the stands to the field. And right now, 0-4, maybe the Jets are grateful that they don't have any fans, but it's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's so interesting, Marty. Before that game Thursday, Sam Darnold told me, one-on-one, we did it on Zoom like this, that it was having an impact, having no fans. And now we see him get hurt. In fact, I was in my car listening to you and Bob Wischusen when he got hurt and came back out. What are you hearing? Because Adam Gase is saying maybe we won't see Darnold next week. Or what do you think Darnold should do? Just get healthy and worry about the rest of his career? What are you hearing on all this with Sam?
First of all, I'm not hearing anything. As the announcer for the Jets for 19 years, normally we would go on the field prior to a game. We'd be able to talk to some of the players, talk to some of the coaches, get really an insight, go and watch practice. All that has been eliminated because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I'm not hearing anything. I know Sam is a fighter. He's a leader. He wants to be out there. But I think Sam has to think also what's best for him. Right now, when you're 0-4, everybody's looking for answers. You know, stop looking for them. Let's just find them.
Marty, thank you for your time. Good luck with this book. If These Walls Could Talk, Stories from the New York Jets Sideline, Locker Room, and Press Box. The forwards by Joe Klecko. And, of course, the proceeds go to your Marty Lyons Foundation. Best of luck with this, Marty. And thank you again so much for coming on tonight.
My pleasure, Tina. Thank you.